is a new look at how the media covers high-profile court cases from someone who experienced perhaps the biggest trial firsthand. It has been more than 20 years since Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson were found murdered in Los Angeles. Former NFL star O.J. Simpson was arrested in connection to those murders but acquitted of the crime in 1995. He was then later found liable for those crimes in a civil case. The trial pushed Ron's sister Kim into the media spotlight. She has now written a book called Media Circus, a look at private tragedy in the public eye. And Kim Goldman is here with us today, and it's very nice to meet you and talk to you. Of course, I grew up watching that case and have followed it. So I know that this has been thrust back into the spotlight because of this FX series about this court case.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? How is it affecting you?
I am watching it. I feel like I need to know the information so I can properly process it and move forward. It's rough. It's rough. I feel like I've been kind of thrust back 20 years to all those emotions and, the energy that was surrounding it then. I sort of feel like it's infiltrating my life again. But I'm 20 years wiser, and I have a better support system now than I did before, and just one day at a time.
What do you think about the way the case is depicted in this FX series?
There's some places where the facts are not entirely accurate. I find that right now I'm trying to figure out how much I care about that, because is it really painting a picture of guilt, or is it a picture of innocent? So I don't know. I feel like it's a little early for me, but it's really hard when those are my people that I'm watching on the screen being depicted, and I feel very protective of them in the story.
And what are your thoughts about it being brought back up 20 years later and the interest there?
Part of the reason that I wrote Media Circus is because when your family's involved in high-profile cases, it doesn't really ever go away, and you at some point have to realize that it's outside your control, and our case is that. So 20 years later, this is just another, avenue that the media and the public are informing themselves about it.
Well, I do remember watching on television along with the rest of the world. I remember when he was acquitted. I remember O.J. Simpson's face, and I remember your face.
Yeah.
I remember your tears and your crying that day. And I know that you have used the emotion behind that to become a victim's advocate. Mm-hmm. And you travel the country meeting with people and talking about how normal people are thrust into this spotlight when something like that happens. Tell us about your book.
So Media Circus, I was fortunate to be able to interview 10 families that, we had grown to learn about and know and become familiar with, and really kind of taking you behind the scenes of what it's like to have your personal tragedy, for the public to consume, how hard it is, but also how comforting that can be, and how isolating it also is, because your grief is not your own, your case is not your own. People feel very vested in you, and sometimes that can be wonderful, and sometimes that's hard. How to navigate the media, how to learn how to control your emotions and get your point across, and how to just navigate through that process. I was really very lucky to have all these people be so open with me, and it was a great synergy that we had because we walked in each other's shoes before. So.
And I'm sure that is a feeling of compassion that you feel for one another. Tell us about some of the high-profile cases and the people you talked to in the book, including one of our local victims here.
Yeah, I spoke to 2 families from the Aurora shooting, the Larimer family and Rebecca's family, and her mother, Shirley Weigel. We did Eric Gardner from New York. We did Deborah Tate, the Manson murders, the DC Sniper, Newtown, Matthew Shepard's mother, Judy. She's a big advocate for the LGBTQ population. I really tried to span the years and go back all the way into the early 60s and show how the media has changed and how social media and the internet has really kind of moved our cases forward. And it was just such a beautiful process, and healing in some ways, and then rough too, because you're connecting with people's heartache.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. I wish you luck on your book tour, and you can actually go see and meet Kim Goldman. She will be at the Tattered Cover on Colfax tomorrow at 2 p.m. If you would like to come get a copy of her book, I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in. Back over to you.
We turn now to a